Okay, Assalamualaikum and good morning to sir. Today I'm gonna talk about my uh, project management for the Uitm project. Uh, for the new Uitm project. Okay. This document will describe the proposal of building a new Uitm campus near the existing Uitm Pasir Gudang. The objective of the building is to construct a new UiTM building uh, with terms and condition apply. The construction is planned due to the higher demand and higher intakes of students uh, to study at UiTM Johor. Uh, the new campus will be located at Jalan Purnama, Bandar Seri Alam, with the postcode 81750, Masai, Johor. With the total area of 25 acres, piece of land with total worth of 25 million ringgit. The purpose of constructing UiTM campus is to construct an academic center with a conducive and comfortable environment without neglecting the eco-friendly and green environment aspects. The project is estimated to be around 300 million ringgit in total, that include the cost of land, building, library, labor, operating costs and others. The project's construction consists of one administration building, library, 4 faculty buildings, cafe, badminton court, 2 college building, both for female and male students, mosque, a football field, a drainage system, and sewerage system, and also fencing. The total cost of the project also consists of temporary buildings such as site office, material storage, temporary drainage system, consists of earth, rain and silt trap, and others. The preliminary investigation has been done and we identify that the chosen land at Jalan Purnama 1 is under Majlis Daerah Pasir Gudang, has an easy access on electricity, water supply, drainage and other necessary places for students such as food store and stationery store. Other than that, Jalan Purnama 1 is connected to a lot of access road and also connected to the Pasir Gudang Highway. It shows that the location is strategic for student and study purposes. Okay, now I will explain about about the factor of selection. Okay, the new UiTM campus will be located at Jalan Purnama 1, near to the Big Valley Ranch and also near to the near to the existing UiTM Pasir Gudang. Okay, the total area of the site is 179,814.02 meter square. Also, for the perimeter is 1,717.75 meter. Okay. The factor of selection consists of 4 major components, which is facilities available, good environmental condition, terrain condition, also transportation. Okay, for the facilities available, the location is selected for construction project has various facilities in the surrounding area. Okay, Bandar Seri Alam has several community services such as police and fire protection, because the area is near to the police station and fire station. Okay. Also, for the waste clearing and street cleaning by Majlis Pembandaran Pasir Gudang (MPPG). Okay, next, there is availability of utility services such as water supply, electricity and drainage. Okay. The proposed land is also located near to the necessary amenities such as Regency Specialist Hospital, Recreation Park and also telecommunication services. There is also shopping facilities near the area which is located at Tebrau, which can be reached by using Pasir Gudang Highway. Okay, for good environmental condition, the site construction is in a locality where natural beauty and man-made environment has create a healthy living and working condition. The area selected is far from residential area, thus creating a safe boundary for students and staff in the campus. The site is also located near to the recreation park and still being undisturbed. This condition will retain the greenish surrounding and makes it comfortable for the students to study inside the Uitm campus. New Uitm also located far from chemical factories and other place that can harm the residents inside the campus. The good existing drainage system also ensure that the risk of the flood that has the potential in damaging the surroundings and infrastructure of the campus. Okay, for the terrain condition, the new Uitm campus site is situated on a high level and elevated place. This factor is important to make sure that the drainage system can operate and works in a perfect manner and efficiently. The site also leveled with uniform slopes and from one end to the other, it will provide a good and quick drainage of rainwater. Both of the aspects also are related to the gravitational law and good for flood prevention. The location of site is also near to the artificial lake called Sultan Iskandar Reservoir, which is important in obtaining water supply and good for piping purposes by minimizing the cost of piping. Okay, for the transportation aspect, there are also several manufacturers and factories that is located not very far from the site. The factories such as Lafarge, Cement, Sendirian Berhad and other industrial factories are mainly located near kawasan perindustrian Masai. This matter is really essential in order to obtain a cheap and efficient means of transportation for the movement of raw materials from the factory to the site. The location of the site also being in a place where adequate transport facilities such as taxi and grab car can be accessed easily and available at cheaper rate. Thus, bus transportation facilities such as Terminal Bus Pasir Gudang is also located near to the campus, thus make it easy for the student to reach the transport accommodation. Okay.
Alright, hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Farah and today I would like to explain about feasibility study. So, feasibility study is created in construction to determine the preliminary plans that will be constructed according to specification. It is a preliminary study in earlier stages of project to address any difficulties and doubts regarding the proposed project. So the objective of this project, Uitm has provided 300 million ringgit for a new construction site of a new Uitm campus near Uitm campus Pasir Gudang, and the name of this project will be Uitm campus Johor Bahru, with the budget of 200 million ringgit lah. So in terms of business point of view, in land valuation, so land valuation is the value of a proposed property, including both the value of the land as well as any upgrades or improvements made to it. So basically in this project, 300 million ringgit has been provided, and a proposed site has been chosen next to the Uitm campus Pasir Gudang, with the estimate of 25 acres. by the estimation cost of 25 million ringgit, because 1 million ringgit is equals to 1 acre lah. So in terms of financial study, 300 million ringgit include land, operating staff, labor, material, and so on. So in terms of market analysis, in this project, our potential buyer would be the government, since Uitm is a government site and government education center. Thus, government will be heavily invested in our project. So in terms of risk analysis, due to the market analysis which stated that there is a cut in development expenditure for 2019, our project may fall into failure if the current market experiencing loss. So basically, our project will be heavily affected by the Malaysian economy. So in terms of technical point of view, for preliminary investigation, it refers to the process of gathering background information of the chosen specific site characteristic without going to the site physically. So this is to provide the initial understanding about the background details, risks, or any information of subsequent investigation. So basically, we will be checking if there is the utility availability around the place, around the area, whether it is suitable to build the project or not. So for site visit, it is a physical inspection. So basically, we will be going there physically to check the availability across the land, to make sure that it is clearly suitable for us to build a new Uitm campus in the proposed site. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Rakizi bin Sidi. So I'm gonna be explain about the site investigation of my project. First of all, the new campus is located beside the Uitm campus Pasir Gudang. So the construction site is very strategic because it not give the bad effect like smell pollution, noise pollution for the resident. After that, the location is very strategic for the student because it can give the easier for the student get the facilities like shop, lobby, restaurant, and so the student can get the facilities very easier. Other than that, after we make the site visit, we determine that the location is hilarious like the Uitm campus Pasir Gudang. So that is not the problem for the construction site to make a new campus because Uitm Pasir Gudang also have the same landform in the site. So during the site visit, we already discussed with the client, which is Syarikat Air Johor, to get the water supply to the construction work. So after we discuss, so that is not a problem to the contractor get the water supply because Syarikat Air Johor will be supplying the water to the construction site. After that, we will also call the geotechnical engineer to determine the specifics of the soil. So the geotechnical engineer will be determine which is either the soil is safe or not for the construction work. The geotechnical engineer also determine the specific gravity, shear strength, permeability of the soil, so we can know about the soil particle. After that, we call the geotechnical engineer because we want to avoid the tragedy like landslide, collapse of the building, so it can give the danger to the workers and the staff. That's why we call the geotechnical engineer. After that, geotechnical engineer also make a geotechnical investigation of the site. It is because it want to determine the geophysical method, geotechnical mapping, and the photogrammetry. So that's why the geotechnical make a geotechnical investigation. So after make a geotechnical investigation, we can design the earthquake, piling, the construction work structure. So that's why the geotechnical investigation of the site is very important of the project. Okay, so there are many governing site investigation. First of all, the factor is economical factor. So in the economical factor, there are three types of cost. So the firstly is economical cost, the second is transportation cost, and the lastly is utility cost. So we go to the development cost. Development cost is the cost for the contractor to build a new campus from the start until the finish. So the contractor must be smart to manage the cost, because to avoid the contractor from the bankrupt if the contractor high spend of cost. Other than that, the contractor already deal with the client to develop the new campus. So make sure the contractor can be develop a new campus until the finish. So we go to the second cost, which is the transportation cost. Transportation cost is the most important for the construction site work. So the contractor must be pay the transportation charge if the hardware or the shop to send the material to the construction site. The cost is depend to the hardware, because the charge will be include the distance about the distance to the construction site. So the charge depend on the hardware. After that, we go to the third cost, which is the utility cost. Utility cost is the cost that provide the utility, which is like water supply, current supply. So the current supply and water supply is the important to make a construction work, because there are many machine and the water that are used in the construction work. Okay, the second factor governing site investigation is the technical factor. In the technical factor, there are many aspects that must be considered to apply at the construction site. Firstly, the most important is the flood level and the drainage system. So, for your information, Pasir Gudang Highway was occurred flood in the 2017. So, it is because of the lack of drainage system. So, we do not want the tragedy was happen at the construction site. Okay, for the drainage system, the contractor must be make and plan the drainage system before start the construction work. It is because to avoid from the impact like flood at the construction site. If the flood happen at the construction site, it will give the bad effect, which is the damage the construction work structure, damage the machine, and already make a high cost to repair and to build the structure again. So that's why the drainage system is most the important thing before start the construction work. So in the site investigation, we already mentioned about the interfacing impact. So in the interfacing impact, we have two types of impact, which is the direct impact and indirect impact. So we go to the direct impact first. So the direct impact is proposed by the action and occur at the same time during the construction work. So indirect impact is the impact that occur after a few months or the several years. After that, the impact is very dangerous to the workers, which is it will be causing death. So the impact will can be controlled if the contractor follow the safety regulation and build the building perfectly. So it can avoid the interfacing impact.
Okay, I'm going to talk about the organization chart. We have here is the board of directors, and under the board of directors we have managing director, and under managing director we have another team, which is director in terms of management, director in terms of site operation, and consultant team. So for director management, we have human resource department, finance department, procurement department and tender department, and they have their own workers, which include human resource officer and clerk. So for finance, we have accountant and assistant accountant with clerk, and then we have procurement officer and clerk, and then for quantity surveyor, it has its own assistant. So for project manager, in terms of site operation, we have site engineer, plant engineer, site engineer for M&E, and then we have quantity surveyor and architect. So under the engineers, it has its own subcontractor. So for project manager in terms of planning, we have CNS engineer, M&E engineer, and architect. And also we have safety officer for safety purposes. So, and then we have consultant team. We have architect, CNS engineer, M&E engineer, and quantity surveyor. So that's it.
Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I will explain to you the Microsoft project, for the work tasks. I will explain about the work tasks. So here in the Microsoft project, in the task name, we already list all the activities, construction activities during our construction. So here, in every activities, we have the duration, we have the starting date, and the finish date. So first, we can see here taking site, the possession, and then we have preliminary work where we have to office setup, holding, and then here we see that during setup we have duration 13 days. We start the project during 7 July 2020, and from when the preliminary work start after we taking the site. So office setup 14 July and 2020, and then done at 28 July 2020 because the duration is 13 days. So we have every detail about the construction activities during the construction. So here for the maintenance, we have maintenance for every year. So you can see September, November here. So get here. For every month, we have maintenance. And for the site preparation and earthworks, here we can see it takes 58 days. 58 days is all we compile all the works from site clearing and earthwork for every block. See, for the site clearing we take 24 days. It start from 7 September 2020 and then done at 3 October 2020. So for the earthwork, every block has their own earthwork. So here block 1 emission block have their own earthwork. For block 2 faculty, for block 3 faculty 2 library, college perempuan, college lelaki, faculty 3 cafeteria, guard house, garbage house, open plaza area, padang football, badminton court and garden. So every part of construction has their own earthwork. So piling work, same as the earthwork, every block has on their piling works. So here we can see block 1 has their own piling work, faculty 1, faculty 2, library, college perempuan, college lelaki, faculty 3 and cafeteria. You can see every activities have their own duration, so the contractor can keep on track on how they're gonna do the works without any delay. So they have to follow the duration from the started date until finish date. So they have to follow this. You can see here. So for pile cap construction, this also for every block have their own pile construction. So the contractor only follow these duration days and to make sure the works become efficient. So this is building works. Zone 1 is block 1. Block 1 is administration block, so for the structural architectural finish. So we can see the duration for every work. So block 2 is faculty 1. We also do the structural and architectural finish. So every block have their own structural and architectural finish. So we can see, yeah, faculty 1, faculty 2, library, surau, college perempuan, college lelaki, faculty 3, cafeteria, guardhouse, garbage house. So you can see every block in this university have their own structural and architectural finish. For M&E, mechanical and electrical services, we have a listing on the mechanical and electrical services, cold water, plumbing and sanitary, internet electrical services, air conditioning and ventilation system, fire protecting system, telephone installation, ICT. So you can see this listing. Every listing here applied to the every block in our university. That's why the duration of installation is quite long, because this all M&E service are applied to all the building in our university. So external work. Here external work we can see there was several reticulation manholes, surface water drainage works, road works, car park, extending and pavement, water regulation work, landscaping, landscape turfing, regulation pond, perimeter, fencing gate, entrance art and signage. So these things are really important, because all these activities are the guide for the contractor to do their work. So they will keep referring to the Microsoft project, so the construction of the building is going well. So here every listing of activities during construction are in the Microsoft project. So the contractor only refer to this when they want to start the project. So for the sport recreation facilities, there are football field, badminton court and garden. So here I will gonna explain all the activities that do, and then the duration. So we can see the duration. We must follow the duration to avoid any delay in the construction, because if we got delay, there will be a waste of money. For external works, outside boundary, the drainage, culverts, road crossing, acceleration and deceleration lane. Final stage, testing and commissioning and energizing, authorities inspection, notification approval, cleaning, CPC date, project handover date. Yeah. Lastly is the project handover date. So the date of this project finish is on, we can see 29 July 2020. So the total days that require to complete this project is 600 days. Started from 7 July 2020 and finish on 29 July 2020. So it's all. Thank you. It's all from me about the task name and the duration in the Microsoft project.
Okay, after this I will explain about the network diagram on the Microsoft project. So first of all, network diagram, the function of network diagram is to show the visualize the construction work. So it can give the easier to the contractor to manage and arrange the activities that must be finished first before start the other activities on the project construction. Okay, this is our Microsoft project of project construction. So I will be explaining about the network diagram. So the first of all, we can see at the number 3, which is the preliminary work. They have the predecessor, which is the number 2, while the predecessor is number 2. So it is because of the preliminaries work can be start after the list of at least at the number 2, which is the taking site possession already finished. So is the preliminaries work is related to the taking site possession. So that is because the predecessor is number 2. So we go to the other example, which is the earthwork. Earthwork is located at the number 33 in the listing activities. So at the earthwork, we can see the predecessor is number 32. So as before that I explained is the number 32 of the listing is site clearing. So the earthwork can be start after the site clearing already finished or already complete. So the earthwork related to the site clearing. Other than that, the activities that have no the predecessor, it mean to the. So I will be explain about the activities that have no predecessor. So as you can see, the listing at the number 5 is hoarding. Hoarding is no have predecessor. So the hoarding activities can be start without related to the other activities. And as you can see, the office setup also already no have predecessor. So office setup and hoarding can be start anytime without wait for the other activities finish complete. So that is the network diagram of the project. As you can see, the network diagram is very function to manage the construction work because there are many activities in the construction work. So it can give the easier to the contractor to flow by step of the construction work. So this is the network diagram.
Hi, so I'm going to talk about critical path activities. So CPA, critical path activity, is a project analysis and planning method that allows a project to be completed in the shortest possible time, which means the MS project will try to identify the longest path of a project, which enables us to work out the shortest duration of time. So the information needed for the CPA is a list of all activities required to complete the project, the duration of each activity to be completed, and the dependency of the predecessor between the activities, which means activity D cannot be completed unless activity B and C is done. So on the critical path, activities have an equal EST and LFT and zero float. So the importance of CPA is to understand the critical path of the project allows the company to prioritize which tasks require a greater focus. These tasks falling along the critical path directly impact the ability of the company to complete the project on time. So any delay of this task will cause time overrun and cost overrun. So basically will cause the delay in terms of time and will cost over the budget in terms of cost. So these are the MS project, the overall activities. So this is the overall list of activities, starting from taking site possession until the contractual completion date. So the duration will be around 600 days, which means 2 years starting from 7 July 2020 until 3 June 2022. And then basically critical activities will be affected by task name or list of activities, the duration of time, the predecessors, and the predecessors. So in this project, the MS project identified that the buildment of football field and badminton court in critical activities, And for piling works, starting from Block 2, Faculty 1 until Block 8, Cafeteria. And then for pile cap construction, starting from Block 3, Faculty 2 until Block 7, Faculty 3. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, I will explain about the cost estimation. Cost estimation is the estimation of cost of the project. It has a single total value and have identifiable component values. Cost overrun can be prevented with a reliable and accurate cost estimation. The person who commonly estimate for cost estimation are the professionals such as quantity surveyor or cost engineer. Cost estimation vary in their composition and preparation method. It consists of manufacturing costs, construction costs, delivery costs, and also facility operation costs. For the cost estimation for your Uitm project, Microsoft project is used to estimate the costs. Several resource names together with the type and the cost of standard rate has been identified. One of the example of resource name is foreign general worker that consists of 300 foreign workers in the site. The cost of operation for maximum unit of 100% is around 1,200 per hour. For the consultant division, the standard rate is about 165 ringgit per hour for maximum units of 100%. Okay, both of these resources are under work type of resource. There are several resources that has been put under material type such as underground cable and street lighting pole. Then the cost of resource has been assigned in Gantt chart. All resource has been assigned to all construction activities in Gantt chart that consists of preliminary works, site preparation and earthwork, piling work, pile cap construction, building works, mechanical and electrical services, external work, and lastly is final stage activity. For example, several resource names such as foreign general worker, mechanical contractor, plumbing contractor, electrical contractor, 4 units of container, machinery contractor, project manager, safety officer, site engineers, and others has been assigned to office setup for preliminary works, and it set the cost at 196,968 ringgit for the duration of 13 days. For the overall cost of the project, it sets at total RM 157,429 ringgit. For the overall cost of the project, it set at total 157,429,460 ringgit .26 for the total duration of 600 days of the project. This is slightly lower than the expected total cost of the project, which is RM 200 million and above without taking the cost of the land. The cost is also way cheaper with the total budget, which is 300 million ringgit for the total cost of the project. This is due to the cost of material and equipment that lower than the expectation. The reason for that is because the material and the equipment has been bought in a large quantities from the supplier. Next, the cost of transportation is low because the availability of construction factories that is located not far away from the site, thus reducing the cost of transportation and delivery fees.
So after this, I will be explain about the locality plan. Locality plan is the small area or map that shows the surrounding of the location site. So in the locality plan, we have two types, which is the economic phases and the social phases. For the economic phases, it is the most important parts because all the people want that the location provide the many facilities, which is the shop, restaurant, lobby, and so on. So it can give the easier for them to get the many facilities in one time. So for the second is the social phases. Social phases is the important part that can release tension for the people, which is the all the people already want there's like a shopping mall, theme park, and also the gym can release their attention at the time. So the locality plan is show about the surrounding and facilities that are provided at the area or the nearest area of the location.
Hello and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So here I'm gonna explain about the construction drawing in our buildings. Construction drawing is the general term used for drawings that form part of the production information that is incorporated into tender documentation and the contract document for the construction works. This means they have a legal significance and form part of the agreement between the employer and the contractor. The main purpose of construction drawing is to provide a graphic representation of what is to be built. Construction drawings should be concise and coordinated to avoid wherever possible ambiguity and confusion. Delays and misunderstanding can be minimized by properly coordinating the drawing. Construction drawings are generally drawn to scale either in elevation, plan, or section view. They adopt a set of standard architectural hatching and symbols that allow anyone familiar with them to decipher and interpret them. Okay, here I'm going to show you the post-construction drawing. So in the post-construction drawing, we will show you where the buildings that have been built in the university. So here we you can see there are two college, for one for male college and second is for the female college. In here also we have one mosque, we have one field, garden, cafe, badminton court, and we have three faculties for this university, one library and one admin building. This drawing show how all the position of the buildings in the university area. So here we can see the roadway in the university from the main entrance, and then to all the part of the buildings in the university. So here contractor can navigate where the building have to be built, so there won't be any error in build the construction. They will keep on track on how they have to do the buildings by referring the post construction. Every detailing in the post construction drawing must be followed by the contractor to make sure the project works smoothly and efficiently. Here also a symbol that show the stop sign and the direction sign. For RP1, it was a stop sign for in the roadway. RP1. Here you also in front of the main access at the college at the field. So RP3 is the direction sign that will show the visitor or student where the direction of the road. So next we go to the construction drawing. Construction drawing is same like the post construction, but it was a construction that show when the construction is start to begin, where the process of the construction start. So basically the building is still the same, but there are some for house for the labor, for the workers, and then we have the location of the machinery, of a temporary parking lot because the building is not finished yet. So there's a silt trap. There, as you can see, there's a colored line on this drawing. So this colored line have a different function. Yeah. So we can see for the red line here, the red line is the telecommunication supply. For the white line is a temporary hoarding fence that it show the border of this building, how bigger the limitation of this border for the building. And then for the blue arrow, this is arrow is for the machinery roots. So where the all the machine are gonna take roots. And this yellow for the temporary electrical supply. Where? Here, the yellow one, temporary. And lastly is and then the temporary water supply is on the purple. As you can see, the purple one. And lastly is the temporary drainage system, earth, rain, and silt trap. So let's see, the drainage will go to the silt trap, and then this starts to the adjacent drain. So this construction drawing is the process drawing during the construction work. So the constructor must follow this to make sure all of the activities during construction are doing good and efficient without any problem. Okay, thank you. For me, this is the expression for the drawing. Hello, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Here I'm gonna explain to you the standard condition contract based on the JKR PWD Form 203A. The definition and interpretation. In this contract, the following words and expressions shall have the meanings hereby assigned to them, except where the context otherwise require. A contract or the contract document means the document forming the tender and acceptance. The contractor means the person, partnership, or company tender for the works has been accepted, who has signed the contract, and the contract sum means the sum named in Article 4 of the Article of Agreements. Site means the land and other places where the works are to be executed. Works mean the work specified in the contract document and include all of any portion of the work, material and goods. The term approved and directed wherever used in this contract means approved and directed in writing. Words importing the singular only also included the plural and vice versa where the contract is required. Based on Section 11, inspection of the site, the contractor shall be deemed to have inspected and examined the site and its surrounding and to have satisfied himself before submitting his tender as do the following. So this is listing that the contractor must be followed during the inspection of site. So we can see here, first the nature of the ground and subsoil, the form and nature of the site, the extent and the nature of the work, materials and goods necessary for the completion of the works, the means of the communication with and the access of the site, the accommodation he may require, in general to have obtained for himself all necessary information as to risk, contingency and all circumstances influencing and affecting his tender. Any information or document provided by the government to the contractor shall not relieve the contractor of his obligation under the provision of his clause. Outside is being confirmed with Pejabat Tanah Daerah Pasir Gudang, which is told by their clerk that outside is necessary to make construction site. So based on the section 15, we are talking the insurance for against personal injuries and damage to property while the project is still under construction. Insurance against personal injuries and damage to property. 15.1. Taking of insurance without prejudice to his liability to identify the government under clause 14 hereof. The contract shall as a condition precedent to the commencement of any work under this contract effect and maintain such an insurance whether with or without an excess amount as allowed in the appendix here to as the necessary to hide the liability of the contractor as every one subcontractor were nominated or otherwise. Such insurance shall be the aim private injuries or death, damage or loss to property, movable or immovable, arising out of or within the course of by reason the execution of the works and caused by any negligence, omission, breach of the contract or default of the contractor or any subcontractor, whether nominated or otherwise, or any servants or agents of the contractor of any such subcontractor, whether nominated or otherwise, where an excess amount is laid out in the appendix. The contractor shall bear the quantity of such excess. The policies of insurance shall contain cross-liability clause identifying for each of the insurer against claim made by on him by the opposite jointly insured. So here the explanation for the insurance in the contract. So next we proceed to the insurance of works. Based on section 18, we are taking the insurance for the employers that we supply for our project. Taking insurance. The contractor shall in the joint name of government and take the contractor insured against loss and damage by fire, lightning, explosion, storm, tempest, flood, ground subsidence, bursting or overflowing of water tanks, apparatus or pipe, aircraft and other aerial device or article dropped, deformed, weird and civil commission, all work executed and all unfished material and goods delivered to, placed on the adjacent to the works and intended therefore, by excluding temporary building, plant, tools and equipment owned by or hired by the contractor or any subcontractor, nominated or otherwise, to the value thereof, plus any amount which may be specifically stated in appendix or elsewhere in the contract document. Shall we keep such work material and goods so insert the until the completion of the works notwithstanding any arrangement for sectional completion or partial occupation by the government under this contract, such as insurance policy or policies shall be provided especially for the payment in the first place to the government of any insurance monies due under policy or police. Basically, this insurance is to guarantee the workers or the workers during the construction project. So if I did any damage or anything or error that libatkan the workers, so this insurance are very important. Payment of insurance in the event of any loss damage. Upon the occurrence of any loss or damage to the works or unfished material or good prior to the date will have been certified as practically completed by the SO in the certificate of practical completion, the contractor shall, notwithstanding the settlement of any insurance claim has not been completed, with due diligence restore, replace or repair the same, remove and dispose of any debris and proceed with the carrying out and the completion of the works. All money if we received from the insurance under this clause shall be paid in the first place to the government and then less any such amount as specifically required in appendix or any elsewhere in the contract document be released to the contractor by the installment on the certificate for payment issued by the SO, calculated as from the date of receipt of the money proportion to the extent of the work restoration, replacement or repair and the removal and disposal of debris previously carried out by the contractor. The contractor shall not entitled to any payment in the respect of the work of restoration, replacement or repair and the removal and disposal of difference other than the money received under the said insurance. Based on the section 23 that employ the workman, employment of workmen, the contractor shall employ in the execution of this contract only Malaysian citizen as workmen. If any particular trade or skill required to complete this work, the contractor can show the certification of the SO that Malaysian citizens are not available, and then the government may employ non-Malaysian citizens subject to the approval of the government. So, when the contractor want to take the employer, they must the priority is must a Malaysian citizen, and if there are no Malaysian citizen that have the skill in the construction works, so the contractor can employ the non-Malaysian citizen to do the works. The contractor shall on the commencement of the work furnish for the Jabatan Tenaga Kerja of the state in which this contract is performed all the particular connected with this contract and such written as may be called from time to time in respect of labour employed by him for the execution of this contract in accordance with the requirement of the Employment Act 1955, Employment Restriction Act 1968, and Internal Security Regulation 1963 or any subsequent modification or reenactment thereof. The contractor shall maintain on the site all the time during progress of the works an up-to-date register containing particulars of all workers employed by him. The contractor shall cause his subcontractors, including labor-only subcontractors and nominated subcontractors, to comply with the provision of this clause. So for the days and hours working, no work shall be done on the weekly days of rest. Any public holiday which is recognized in the state where this contract is being carried out. So the contractor must follow these working days so the workers can rest during the days where work cannot be done. Between the hours of 6 in the morning and 6 in the following morning, without the written permission of the SO, provided that such written application of the contractor is approved by the SO. The contractor shall comply with the fully all the requirement of the Employment Ordinance 1955 in regard to territorial or any subsequent unification or reaction thereof, and shall bear any cost for the complements therewith or any extra cost incurred by the government in connection with the supervision of the work. Wage book and the timesheet. The contractor shall keep and shall cost his subcontractor and nominated subcontractor to keep proper wage book and timesheet following the wage paid to and time worked by all the workmen employed by him and his subcontractor as was set in for the performance of this contract. The contractor shall produce such wage book and timesheet on the demand for inspection by any person duly authorized by the SO. The contractor shall furnish to the SO representative such information relating to the wage and the condition of employment such a workman as the SO may from time to time require. For the default in payment of wage, in the event of payment, any money in respect of wage and or payment in respect employees provident fund contribution of any workman employed by the contractor of his subcontractor and nominated subcontractor in and for the performance this contract which claim has been filed with the Department of Labour, then the SO shall make the payment to the Director General of Labour or Employees Provident Fund as the case may be out of any monies at any time due to contractor under this contract, and such payment shall be deemed to be payment made to be by the contractor by the government under by the virtue of this contract. Discharge of the workman. The contractor shall employ in and about the execution of work by only such person as a good character, careful, skill, and experience in their respective vocation and trades. The SO shall be at liberty to object and to require the contractor to remove immediately from the site any person employed by the contractor in or about the execution of the works who, in the opinion of the SO, misconduct himself or incompetent or neglected in the proper performance of his duties. Such person shall not again be employed upon the works without the prior written the permission of the SO. So, the workers that employed by the contractor can be discharged from the construction project if the SO notice that he is not incompetent or negligent to do the works. The worker can be removed from the construction. Any person so removed from the works and shall be replaced without delay by a substitute approved by the SO, provided that the contractor should not be entitled to any claim for any expenses whatsoever incurred by him in respect of any direction given by the SO under this law. So we already explained all of the contract during the construction work. Standard condition contract during the work. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about Uniform Building by Law, UBBL Act. So basically, Uniform Building by Law are building regulations which is made to standardize rules to apply in construction building, which means that it is an important law to apply during construction, especially in Malaysia. And Malaysia's building regulation are based on the Street Drainage and Building Act 1974. So, in this project, we have chosen Part 3, Space, Light and Ventilation for open corridors. So for open corridors, in this proposed new UITM campus, there are 3 faculty buildings, and each building will have 4 stories. The surface area of opening shall not be less than 25% of the total perimeter wall area enclosing the balcony, which is the corridor. So the opening is shaped and located if the total length in plan of the opening is no less than 50% of the perimeter of the floor. So in terms of calculation, the total perimeter length will be 52% with the minimum of 50% will be 26 meter, and then the total perimeter wall area will be 156 meters square with a minimum 25% of 39 meters square. So the total area of opening shall be in 42 meters square. So basically, in terms of firefighting access, this is inside the 2012 UBBL 140. So for fire appliances access, there are 3 places, which are access way, access road, and access opening. So access way is an area for the entry, maneuvering and parking of the fire appliances during firefighting operations. And then for access road, it is a road capable of accommodating the passage of fire appliances to enter an access way. So basically a special route for the firefighting department. And then we have the access opening, which is the doorways or openings that allows fast and safe entry of firefighting and rescue work. So the installation of fire extinguisher according to UBBL shall not be placed on the ground unless there has a stand on them, and shall not be, and is mounted 1 meter high from the floor, which is noticeable for people. So for installation for hose reel, the hose reel shall be located at every 45 meters of each building. So yes. So I'm going to explain about site safety. So basically, during the construction, accidents may occur regardless of the condition, due to the fact that it is a hazardous land-based job, especially for our project, Uitm, a new campus of Uitm Johor Bahru, includes many hazardous tasks and conditions, such as working with height, excavation, noise, dust, machinery, and so on. Accidents may occur during construction process, and site safety is important in order to avoid such tragedies from happening. So for site security, a good site security means it is safe for public from any site hazards. Since our proposed site is near the residential area, so it is highly risk for the public So that's why we put fencing around the proposed site to avoid any accidents from occurring towards the public spaces. So this is a medium risk level because this is a suburban residential area. So in terms of means of access, safe access to places of work means that all rubbish and sleeping hazards are prevented from affecting roadways. So which is why we created a temporary garbage house for the material waste management. So this project also includes a one-way system for machinery route to prevent any accidents or colliding happen. So in terms of storage of materials, storage of materials has two types, inflammable and flammable, and it is separated in two different places to avoid any chemical reaction between both of them or any explosion from happening. For flammable, it is placed far from any other places or any temporary structure to avoid any explosion from happening. In terms of lifting appliances, so basically lifting appliances has the risk of falling objects. So basically we have to have a big spaces for construction process when using lifting appliances. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Now I will explain about the construction safety regulation. Construction safety regulation are the safety guidelines that were enacted by Malaysian government. All construction activities must obey and follow every details of the law, and those who refuse can be penalty. There are almost thousands of major injuries that occur in construction site across Malaysia. There are many risks of getting injuries such as falling, in construction failure, protective equipment failure, and many more. In Malaysia, the Department of Occupational Safety and Health, DOSH, under the Ministry of Human Resource, is responsible to ensure that the safety, health, and welfare of workers in both the public and private sector is put under consideration. Other than that is OSHA or OSHA or Occupational Safety and Health Administration that has been greatly known to help workers to be in safe condition. The importance of OSHA is to maintain the report and also keep track in the construction related injuries, and also exhibit a training program to enhance the knowledge of safety among the construction site to the manpower. The Factory and Machinery Act 1967 objective is to control the factory's operation with respect to health, safety and welfare of the workers. It also involved in the registration and inspection of machinery. The FMA 1967 consists of 6 parts, which is Part 1 Preliminary, Part 2 Safety, Health and Welfare, Part 3 Person in Charge and Certificate of Competency, Part 4 Notification of Accidents, Dangerous Occurrence and Dangerous Disease, Part 5 Notice of Occupation of Factory and Registration and Use of Machinery, Part 6 General. Okay, DOSH is an act that provides the framework to ensure the safety, health and welfare among workers and to protect others on risking safety or health in relation with the construction activities. The importance of DOSH is to create a report and to keep track on job related injuries, and the company also provide training programs to increase and enhance the knowledge about safety and health to the manpower. Okay, the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 DOSH structure consists of 15 parts, which is Part 1 Preliminary, Part 2 Appointment of Officers, Part 3 National Council for Occupational Safety and Health, Part 4 General Duties of Employers and Self-Employed Persons, Part 5, general duties of designers, manufacturers and supplier. Part 6, general duties of employees. Part 7, safety and health organization. Part 8, notification of accident, dangerous occurrence, occupational poisoning and occupational diseases, and inquiry. Part 8, prohibition against use of plant or substance. Part 9, industry codes of practice. Part 10, enforcement and investigation. Part 11, liability for offences. Part 12, appeals. Part 13, regulation. Part 14, miscellaneous. And lastly, schedules. Okay. Example of Part 12 in Part 11 in the Occupational Safety and Health Act 1994 that have been enacted. Okay. These are the example is for the for the matter 30, establishment of safety and health committee at place of work. First bracket, every employer shall establish a safety and health committee at the place of work in accordance with this section. And then the others safety and health organization. Okay, these acts are created to give guidelines for other construction workers in dealing many issues. For example, there is a risk in handling machinery units inside the construction site in Uitm project. So injuries can occur if the machineries are not inspected and used properly. As the conclusion, it is an act to make further provision for securing the safety, health and welfare of person at work, for protecting others against risks of safety or health in connection with the activities of person at work. That's all for the project. Thank you.